What's up, guys? Back with another video. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about is compound interest, and today I'm going to show you a quick little model that'll show you how compound interest works and how you can make a little tiny data model in Excel that's super simple and you can plug in a bunch of scenarios and go forth. So really the use case today that we're talking about is seeing compound interest at work and how much your investments will grow. So I'm going to go to my second tab here, and I already have a couple of my variables plugged in here. So on our left side, we're going to see, our starting age, the starting year. So if we want to do 2022, your annual return, so what you expect to get. So let's just say, typically around 8%. You can plug in a starting balance if you want. Let's say, we have, maybe $5,000 and we're going to add, let's say $10,000 to it every year. So we're going to plug our numbers and our variables in here, and we're going to see that happen here. So um, I have a little bit of a data grid here that shows age, year, beginning balance, your additions, and then your growth. So we're going to make all of this a formula. So we're going to do, so for the age column, obviously we're going to start at age 21, and then we're going to increment that a year. And then I'm going to show you guys how to do this real quick. Year is going to be this number, and then same thing, we're just going to add 1 to it. Beginning balance is initially going to be equal to your starting balance. Your additions is going to be equal to this variable. Your growth is going to be what your balance is, and we're making an assumption here that all your additions are going to happen at the beginning of the period just to make it super simple. So we're going to do a sum of that, and then we're going to multiply it by our rate of return. And then our ending balance is going to be all three of these added together. So at the end of the very first year, so we have $5,000 in our beginning balance. We have 10,000 that we're adding to it. Of that 15,000, it's going to grow at 8%. So we're going to grab 1,200, and we're going to end the year at 16,000. So going from 5 to 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually drag these two cells down. We're just going to go say till age 40. That's a good year. So 40 in 2041, we will be 40 years old. So beginning balance of year 2 is going to be the ending balance of the previous year. Your additions is still going to be the same number. So you're going to continually do 10,000. You could add more advanced stuff in here where you're going to grow it, you say 1% every year. So we're just going to go ahead and drag this down. What you'll notice is there's actually a mistake in this formula. So we are actually incrementing down here. So we're already down in B8. What we need to do is actually lock this down. So if we do function F4, that's going to lock that 10,000, and now we're going to be able to just put that in. Growth, this formula is not going to change, so we're just going to go and drag that down as well. And then your ending balance is going to be dragged down as well. We do see an error here. This is a good example. So I was incorrect there. So your interest rate is actually, we do need to lock this one down as well. So if we do that, we're not going to make 131 million in the second year. So this looks a little bit more accurate. And then our beginning balance, we're just going to drag that all the way to the bottom. Our annual additions, we're going to drag down. Our growth, we're going to drag down. And then our ending balance, we're going to drag down as well. So with this, now we can kind of see our full model. So going from year 1 of 21, starting with 5,000, you can see kind of the power of compound interest here over just 20 years. So if you start and you just add $10,000 each year, you'll end up with $500,000. If we wanted to, keep going down, obviously the traditional retirement age is usually around 65. I'll kind of just show you guys just the power of compound interest here. So I'm actually just going to drag all three of these down. And so now you can see we're still adding $10,000 a year. And at the end of the year, at age 65, you'll have $4.3 million. So this does ignore inflation. You can do annual return above inflation. So if inflation's around 2%, you can actually just you're assuming that it's actually going to be 10%. So here you can play with this number. The great news about it is everything is dynamic here. So once I hit enter, um, we'll be able to see it. So at 6% instead, we're going to have about half that dollar amount. But say, you actually goes on a tear and it's $10,000 a year or 10% annual return, you actually end up with double that money. So this really just illustrates the power of compound interest. You can mess around with all these variables. You can do in some later videos, I'll kind of show you how to do withdrawal rates as well. But this is a really quick, simple, quick and dirty model to kind of illustrate the power of compound interest and how to show you guys how to potentially, look at, how much money you will have with the compound interest at work. So if you guys do have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. If you have any future ideas, I'm trying to get more into kind of some Excel modeling as well. So if you guys do have any additional items that you want me to cover in a future video, feel free to enter that in the comments below or shoot me a message. Thanks, everyone.